Hi, cat fans. You're listening to Meowster Podcast. I'm Tim Black, and this is another Minisode, and I'm coming to you by myself again. Partly because Rebecca is under the weather, and partly because I'm traveling right now, so this was the only way to get you some fresh content for June 1st. Now, before I get into today's topic, I wanted to add a little something to go along with our last episode about cats and baseball. This is from an AP article dated July 8th, 2016, about a minor league baseball team in New Jersey called the Lakewood Blue Claws. They were going to play a game against the West Virginia Power. Now, for this game, fans were actually encouraged to bring their cats to the game. Fans had to sign a waiver, and all the cats had to be on leashes or in carriers, and all the fans were encouraged to consider whether their pets could stand the noise and the crowd. There was an animal rescue group there to accept donations, and they had cats and kittens available for adoption. In addition, the Blue Claws players wore special jerseys featuring the faces of dozens of orange, black, and gray cats. The jerseys were later auctioned for their team's charity, which supports over 35 local nonprofit organizations. Now, this article appeared before the event, so I'm not sure how many people brought their cats or if everything went smoothly, but I'm assuming since I hadn't heard anything else about it, it was a success. I wonder if Bring Your Cat Night will become an annual thing, or if any other teams will try this. Anyway, that's it for cat baseball. Let's move on to today's topic, the Cat Man of Aleppo. You may have seen Mohammad Alaa Aljaleel in the news. We actually shared an article about him on Meowster's Facebook page a couple years ago. He's a Syrian paramedic and ambulance driver who took care of cats in Aleppo who became homeless due to the Syrian civil war. There's a piece from NBC News dated May 14, 2017, entitled Cat Man of Aleppo Forced to Start Again from Scratch. Aljaleel started caring for Aleppo's desperate cats in 2013. He said, as people were fleeing and leaving their neighborhoods, the cats started to come to my area because I was already feeding some. But as the war became more intense, so did his responsibilities. He started with 6 or 7 cats, and that grew to over 170. By 2015, he built a sanctuary called Ernesto's House. It was named after his first cat. He became known as the Cat Man of Aleppo, a symbol of resilience and kindness amid war and devastation. As more fleeing families heard about him, they would drop their cats off before leaving the city in search of safety. As well as cats, he would also care for stray dogs when he could, feeding them and providing simple veterinary care. But he stopped short of bringing them to live with the cats. Eventually, Aljaleel became a victim himself. In November of 2016, bombs struck Ernesto's house. Most of the cats were killed, and he had to leave the city with a handful of survivors. It took him 15 days to reach the countryside outside of Aleppo. Ernesto's house now has a new home in the countryside west of Aleppo. He received lots of donations, and fundraising events were done in the U.S. and Spain to help him rebuild. Caring for the animals put a lot of pressure on his personal life. He eventually got separated from his wife. She and their 2 kids now live in Turkey, and he tries to visit them as often as possible. He says, I hope my children will one day understand what their father was doing, and that the world will repay them with the same kindness and mercy that I've given to these animals and humans in need. This new location has about 25 cats, and Aljaleel says that it's more than just a cat sanctuary. It seeks to erase the war from children's minds. Caring for the cats is a gateway to bringing goodwill to the country and build it around being more merciful. So that's the Cat Man of Aleppo. If you want to keep up with him, check out his Facebook page. There you can see all kinds of pictures and videos of him and his cats. It's pretty amazing stuff. Just go to Facebook and look up Mohammad Alaa Aljaleel, Mohammad Aljaleel. Well, that's it for this episode's topic. Our next episode will be episode 100. I'm not sure what our topic is going to be yet, but I do know there's at least one surprise that we have in store for you that you do not want to miss. It's going to be great. The best way to make sure you don't miss it is to subscribe. So subscribe on iTunes or on your podcatcher app. However you get podcasts, there should be a way for you to subscribe. It's usually pretty easy. Look for a button that says subscribe and click it. That's all there is to it. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram, all that stuff. We're out there. Just look for Meowster Podcast. You'll find us. Thanks so much for listening, and go play with your cats.